Hello and welcome to the sixth lesson and the final lesson in the module 7, that is solving rational equations and inequalities. Now, we need to know all the information of the previous lessons. That is very important. Whatever we have studied on solving rational equations, on general inequalities, and everything will be applied over here. Let us directly jump into the lesson now. Here we have, say, the learning objectives: solve rational equations in one variable, and to solve rational equations inequalities in one variable. So the good thing is we have just one variable to be solved, but it is about inequalities and equations. Now you can use the calculator easily to solve equations but not inequalities. We will look into all the different methods which we can employ. Among all the methods, I'll try to teach you the easiest methods. The keywords are rational equation, rational inequalities. Now we will start with the lesson about equation. Let us just jump into the problem because we have solved equations before. Now this is a problem over here. How would you solve this? So if you recall over here, the denominators, see now this, see there are plenty of methods to solve. Start solving with the LCD, that is the least common denominator. That is what is mentioned in the textbook. But I'll tell you some easy methods. Now, always it is easy when you have the same denominator, right? So what you can do is whatever is the denominator in the left side, multiply and divide over here, and what the denominator is over here, multiply and divide over here. We have done that in the lesson 2 of this module. You can go back to the video, be thorough with it, so you will understand that method. But now, in this case, it's more easier if you have the numbers together and the variable, because there's only one variable here, right? Take the numbers to other side, solve it up, and then solve the x. So let me just start solving it now. So the thing is, here, what I'll do is I'll take this to the other side. So it's going to be 9 by x minus 4. That is equal to 55 by 48 remains as it is, minus 7 by 12. Now you can solve this in calculator or solve it by LCD. It's better to use calculator, it'll save a lot of time. So I will just quickly use the calculator here. All you need to do is type it out: 55 by 48 minus 7 by 12. Or you can just take the LCD over here and solve it, it's up to you. The answer is 9 by 16. So let me write it out over here. It'll become 9 by 16, and left side we have 9 by x minus 4. Now you can just cross multiply. What happens? Whatever is in the down goes up to the other side. It will be 9 by 16 equals. Now I will take this down here because I can bring all the numbers together. So I'll just divide this by 9 and x minus 4. So I have this variable. So your 9 and 9 cancels. What's remaining is 16 equals x minus 4, or x is equal to 16 plus 4, isn't it? Why this goes to the other side? I've written this term first. 16 plus 4, that is 20. So x is 20 here in this case. It's not only that, so the answer is 20. You can solve this easily with the calculator as well. How do you do that? Whatever is the question you have got, just type it as it is, like 7 divided by 12 plus 9 divided by x is given by alpha x minus 4, that is equal to 55 by 48. Now you can't press equal to, it's an error. You need to press shift and solve. The answer over here would be, it will take some time. In your, it's 20, but in your calculators, it might take about 30 seconds because I was doing this in the class and some students were not getting it. Don't press anything. Just wait for about 30 seconds. If you count, you're going to get the answer. It's a bit of time, but you will get the answer directly. So you can check your answer, whatever you solve by this. So that's how to solve this one. Now then, let's go to the next problem here. So here we have select the solutions of 5 by 6 minus 2 by 4x plus 1 equals x by 3. Now what happens is, see, in some cases, now let me just show using calculator. Let me solve this by calculator, but you won't get the correct answer. Like, let me just solve it. 5 by 6, that is minus 2 by 4 alpha x plus 1 equals alpha x by 3. Okay. So now all you need to do is shift and solve, then equal to, what is the answer? It's 1.75. Let's look into the options here. The options are, sorry, these are the options. Okay, anyways, the answers come. But it's not about knowing the answers, it's about how you solve the answers. So we had got 1.75. Okay, 1.75 is close to 7 by 4. This is the answer. But there might be more than one answer because you already saw it. I'll just show the answers. These are the two answers here. Half and 7 by 4. There is no way your calculator will tell you both the answers. See, only one answer is available. Now, how do you do this? First, I will tell you the written method and then I will go to the calculator method. So, what happens is, just now what we did, the same way you can start solving it. Now here you can use the denominator method. See, both the sides are variable. You can multiply this denominator up and down and this up and down. But I'll tell you another shortcut. Don't do directly, because in a textbook sometimes you see wherever it's given they just start solving over there. It might be plenty more steps. What the easy method is, look at the denominators. Which is having the easiest denominator? This one and this one, right? So get them together. So what I'll do is I will move this 5 by 6 to the other side, or this to the other side and x by 3 to the other side. Whichever. Now since I want to move only one, I'll move this to the other side. This 5 by 6 over here. So minus 2 by 4x plus 1 will remain. That will be equal to x by 3 minus 5 by 6. You can't use the calculator here. What you need to do is not just cross multiply. You have to multiply this denominator up and down. So I'll leave this as it is. Here x by 3 will remain, but multiply it with whatever is down over here. Multiply and divide like this. Minus 5 by 6 is as it is. Multiply and divide by the other side denominator, that is 3 by 3. Now this method, once you know this trick, it's going to work all the time. Here what's going to happen? Here now the denominators are 6 times 3, 18, 6 times 3, 18. Don't go to cancel this and this and this. No. Make sure you're having, I'm just doing all the detailed steps over here now for once. But in the last lesson 2, we have done it direct method. You can follow that once you're thorough with that lesson. But let me just do in detail here. 6 times x is 6x divided by 18 minus 5 times 3 is 15 divided by 18. You can see the denominators are same. So now I can write it as one denominator and just solve the numerators as they are given. 6x minus 15. This is the method. But now there's another shortcut. That is, from this step you can directly come to here. How do you do that? See, what is the denominator? 6 times 3, right? So, sorry, the denominator over here.
6 times 3 is 18.
Oh, my Siri is gone. Sorry. Sometimes it just goes on. Okay. X by 3 minus 5 by 6. Over here, just the denominators multiplied. That is 18, and multiply the 6 over here with x, so it will be 6x, and minus, what is this multiplied by the other denominator? 5 times 3 is 15. So you can directly get to this step without these, but these are the explanations. Initially you need to know, but eventually you can just carry out together directly. Is that okay? So I'll tell it again. X by 3 minus 5 by 6. So you must multiply and divide the other side of the terms with the other side denominator. Denominator is the down term. So it'll be 6 and 6 over here and over here, as you can see. And the same thing with the other side, 3 and 3. Why do we do this? To get the denominator same. So now instead of doing all this step, we know when we do that the denominators will be the same. So just see what's going to happen, because you're multiplying this over here and this over here. The denominator will be multiplication of the two denominators. So just multiply 6 times 3 and you'll get 1 by divided by 18. And what next? Whatever is this, multiply here with 6. So it'll be 6x. This over here minus 15. I hope this is clear. Now, if that is done, you don't need to know all the steps. Okay, I'll just erase these all steps. So in just one step, you're going to get that, isn't it? Once you have practice, you will easily understand how to get this done. So now what I'll do is, here, left side was minus 2 by 4x plus 1. That is equal to 6x minus 15 by 18. We need to solve this. There are only one term and one term. So cross multiply. This is in equal to. It's not plus or minus. Only when there is plus and minus, you have to do this. Multiply denominator up and down, multiply the other side denominator up and down. Now it's equal to, do cross multiplication. So it'll be negative 2 times 18, that is equal to 6x minus 15 multiplied with what? It will be 4x plus 1. This is the thing. Now you can do the FOIL method. What is FOIL method? You just multiply the first term with first, the first term with last, and then the inner terms or the inside terms and the last terms. So FOIL is first, outer, inner, last. Okay. So left side will be 18 times 2, that will be 40 minus 4, 36, but minus sign over here is equal to 6 times 4 is 24x, and x becomes x squared, plus 6x minus 4 times 15 will be 60x, minus 60, and minus 15. What did I do over here? I just multiplied 6 times 4x, 6x times 4x, 24x squared. 6 times 1 is 6x, minus 15 times 4x is minus 60x, and minus 15. Now I need to get them all to one side. So I'll just move this to the other side, okay? So here it will be 0 equals, there is only one x term, so it is 24x squared. What else? You can solve this by 60 minus 6. Sorry, this will be minus 54. Wait, I'll just remove this. It'll be minus 54, because 60 minus 6 is 54, but negative is bigger, so 54x. And this is minus 15. This minus 36 comes to the other side, becomes plus 36 here, right? Because you will have plus 36 here, plus 36 here. So it's going to be 15 plus 6, that's 21, plus 21. This would be your answer. Now, this is a quadratic equation. How do we solve quadratic equations? Just in the calculator mode, phi 3. And now type in the coefficients. Since here we are not interested in simplifying or factoring, we just need the x values. That's it. You don't need to simplify this or remove common terms. No need. Why? We just need the x values here. Just the solution. It's not required for any other step. So directly put these values. You don't need to take 2 out or anything out. Just over here 3 is a common term here, but no need. Just put these values, 24, then minus 54, and lastly we have 21, and the answer is 7 by 4 and half. Can you see x is 7 by 4, correct? And positive half. That is the second answer. See, in the calculator, if you write this out directly, the first answer which we got is 7 by 4. Yes, but it doesn't show the other answer. So that is half. Okay, I hope this is clear. This is how you simplify this. Now, I have done very shortly. It might be a long explanation, but this is all straightforward. Only if you're very new to this, then you might find this a bit long, lengthy at the beginning. This and this is equal. So, but once you know it, it's very, very, very easy. Okay, this is one of the easiest, and it's a time-saving method. Now here, after this, if this comes for MCQ, I'll tell you one more shortcut method. Now, what is that shortcut? I will remove this. You can pause it and check it out. So I'll remove this for now, and let me look at this question. It is phi. Sorry, take it off. It is phi. I'll just clear, because it's always good to clear your calculator once in a while. Sometimes you may not get the correct answers. That's why I'll write it out. 5 by 6 minus, I'm writing the equation as it is, 2 divided by 4x plus 1 equals alpha x by 3. Okay, all I did is, that's it. I just substituted. Oh, and I'm sorry. You should not substitute. You do not need to substitute both the sides. I'm sorry for that. Here, just substitute one side, okay? Now here what you need to do is calc and this value. All these values you need to substitute. In the sense, press calc and type in the first answer at the left side. First answer is negative 67 divided by 4. This only works when there are options given to you. And press equal to. What is the answer here? It is 19 by 22. So over here the first answer is, I'll just write it out, the left side, okay? So I'll write it over here. I'll just write it next to it, 19 by 22. That is the answer for the left side. Same way, because you already typed the first equation out, don't go to the next one, just type it out for all the answers. Now change it, calc, next one. It is quarter, negative 0.25 or 1 divided by 4. It's an error. That means over here it's undefined, because when you put 1 by 4, it's undefined at this point, and right side is always defined. So this is wrong. This can't be the answer at all. We can directly disregard this. Why? Because if I put 1 by 4, this side is undefined. No, that can't be the answer at all. Let me go to the positive 1 by 4. Calc 1 divided by 4. You're getting negative 1 by 6. Okay, let me just write it out. Negative 1 by 6. What about the other answers? Calc. Oh, I just removed it off. Let me write it out quickly. 5 by 6 minus 2 by 4 alpha x plus 1. Calc. I'm writing calc again. And which is the answer? Now 0.5. I'll just write it out. 0.5. It's 1 by 6. Okay. Let me note this answer here. 1 by 6. And what about 7 by 4? Let me just press calc and change the answer to 7 divided by 4 or 1.75. I'm getting 7 by 12. So let me write it out over here. 7 by 12. And lastly, we have 3. So let us do it over here. Calc 3. It's 53 by 78. So we have got 53 by 78. Now you might be thinking this is lengthy, but this is like direct and you don't need to, use any calculation formula and everything. Think you have just forgotten all the methods to simplify, only then use this method. But provided the options must be there. Just because this method can be done, I'm just showing you this method, okay? Now this side is over. This is the bigger side. Now here you have just x by 3. So all you need to do is, you can type it out like alpha x by 3. So it should be x. And then calculate x at these values now. Let me calculate x at negative 67 divided by 4. Now both the sides values must match. Look, what am I getting at the right side? I'm getting negative 67 by 4. Here it should be negative 19 by 22. Are they both matching? No, if they don't be the same answers, then this is wrong. This can't be the answer. This was anyways math error, so we disregarded it already. So now that is not possible. So we'll go to calc and the third option, that is 1 divided by 4. Are they matching again? No, this is not matching again. So it should have been negative 1 by 6. I'm getting 1 by 12. Both the sides must be equal, right? That's what the equation says. So that's not possible. Let's go to the next one. Calc at 1 by 2 or 0.5. Look at this. It's 1 by 6, 1 by 6. Both the sides match. This is yes, correct. What about the other side? Other answer? Calc 7 divided by 4. Again, these both match. You can see it's 7 by 12, 7 by 12. So these both are the answers. Let's try the last one. Write it directly 3 by 3. It's going to be 1. And it's not matching over here, so even the last one is wrong. See, only the correct answers, whichever are the true solutions, will match. So if 3 matches, all the 3 are solutions, but then there should be a cubic over here. There'll be one square and then something like that. But anyway, so this is how we can easily find, because these both matched in both the sides. When you put x, those are the solutions for this answer, this question. That's how we can solve it. But if you solve by calculator directly by putting this equation, you're just going to get one answer, which is not sufficient. I hope this is clear. This is the method. Now in the next problems, we are going to employ the same written method which we did. So I'll be a little bit quicker. So be thorough with whatever is taught for now. Now we will move on to the next one. You can see it's pretty huge, right? And the answer is also so much. Okay, it just keeps on going, but I'll try to make it as simple as possible. But the thing is, it will take a big amount of big amount of space. You need to do the methods. You can try it in calculator. That I'll tell you at the end. Now you can see there is square over here, right? And divided by all these denominators are there. There might be excluded value. There might be answers which are not true. So here you can see the type of question over here that has been asked. Solve rational equation with an extraneous solution. That means they look like solution, but they are not really solution. So let us see what it is. Now I'll manually solve this. How do you solve is very simple. What I told you, whichever has less denominators, these two, get it together at 1 and leave this over here. So minus m squared plus 7m plus 4 divided by 3m squared minus 18m plus 24. That is equal to 4m divided by 3m minus 6 minus 2m m minus 4. Is that okay? Now, this is the denominator here. You need to multiply this denominator up and down and this denominator up and down. But what happens is the denominator will be multiplying these both. So I'll directly write the denominator. It will be 3m minus 6, m minus 4. In the lesson 2, I told you to simplify the denominators and solve it. It's up to you. Here, even if you don't simplify, it's fine. You can get the answer. It's just that you have to use FOIL method. Now here what happens is 4m will be multiplied with this denominator, m minus 4, minus what happens over here, minus this entire term will be minus, it will be 2m multiplied by 3m minus 6. Okay. So you can just multiply this minus over here, or after you simplify this, multiply all the terms by negative sign. Now let's simplify this. It will be 4m will be 4m square minus 16m. This will be minus of 2 times 3 is 6m square minus 12m, and divided by, over here I'll have to do FOIL method. 3, see the first term with the first term here, 3m square. Then this with the last term here, minus 4 3s are 12m minus 6m plus 24. 6 times 4 is plus 24. Now you can simplify the up and down terms. It's gonna be 4m squared minus 16m minus 6m squared plus 12m. Now this step can be simplified easily. You can directly get the answer in 3 steps, provided you multiply this m initially over here. It will be minus, then this will be plus. You can avoid some steps, or you can directly, simplify this. It will be minus 6m plus 4. It will be minus 2m. You can simplify if you are comfortable. Now I'm doing it, with detailed explanation. That's why it's many steps. Here it will be 3m squared, minus and minus will be adding the terms. It will be minus sorry, it'll be 18 here, 18m plus 24. And let's look at the left side, and it is minus m squared plus 7m plus 4 divided by 3m squared minus 16m plus 24. Now you can see the denominators are the same both the sides. So this denominator cancels off with this denominator. Why? Why does it cancel? If you take it to the other side, it will be up and down. So you cancel it off anyways. So you just cancel it over here. So now what happens is we are remaining with, I'll write it up over here. Okay, that was a bad line, but anyways, I'll write what's remaining. Minus m squared plus 7m plus 4. That is equal to, how do you simplify this? It'll be minus 2m square, minus 2m square, and what is there? It'll be minus 4m, minus 4m. Denominators are 1 and 1, so just ignore them. Now take everything to one side. I'll take this the smaller number, minus 2, to the other side. It'll become plus 2m. So it'll be 2m squared minus m squared. And this will become plus 4m plus 7m plus 4 equals 0. Now simplify it. What's the answers? It'll be m squared plus 11m plus 4 equals 0. So this is the answer. I hope this is correct, because sometimes you miss one sign, one single term, your entire answer will be wrong. Because that same thing happened in my class when I was doing all this detailed simplifying. Even the students were telling me the answers, but somehow one sign, maybe I'd written it instead of minus as plus, and then we continued, and ultimately the answer was wrong. And then we had to figure it out and go back. So what I'm trying to say is, if you go one single step wrong, say for example, if you miss a 1, minus, or plus, this ultimate answer will be wrong. So I'm just hoping I didn't do it wrong. Let's see, let's calculate it now. You have to use your calculator to calculate this. Let me just put it over here. Mod 5 and 3. Now here the coefficient is 1, 11, and lastly we have 4. Okay, I think so. I got it wrong. Let me just check the answers quickly. It should be, so here we are. I have done something wrong. Wait, let me just check it. So I understand the mistake might be very minor, because this is correct. Only thing is these two signs are wrong. So now this is to be minus and minus. So let me just figure it out quickly over here. I was skeptical about it, and that really happened. But anyways, I'm not going to remove this part, because it's very good that mistake happened, so we can learn from that mistake now. Okay, I figured out this mistake. Now this is a very important mistake. Okay, I just didn't realize. Look at this problem. Here it's minus. Okay, everything over here, whatever we did simplification is correct. Right side is all right. But look at the left side. When there is a minus sign, this is not only for the single term, it must be multiplied throughout. So it's good that this mistake happened, because all what I did over here is absolutely right. So whatever we did together is correct. There's no mistake over here. But this mistake over here, this minus must be distributed throughout all the terms. How I told you over here. See, remember to multiply this minus entirely. And I just forgot to do it in the same thing for the left side. So it is, the minus sign is like this. Okay. So now what happens over here is this will become minus m squared. And what about the other terms? It'll be, instead of plus, it'll be minus 7 and minus 4. This is very, very important and very crucial. It was a simple sign mistake, but the entire answer would be wrong. So this is the thing. I'd experienced that in the other problem, but now I experienced it in the other problem as well. It is minus, minus, minus here. So here it would be minus 7m minus 4m. And what happens when you take this to the other side? It will be 2m squared minus m squared plus 4m minus 7m, and lastly minus 4. Now the answer would be m square minus 3m minus 4, that is equal to 0. I hope this is clear. Now let's put this term in the calculator. Here we are, mod 5 and 3. We have got 1 minus 3 and minus 4. The answer of the x values are x equals 4, x over here equals 4, and x equals negative 1. Okay, so x equals negative 1. These are the answers. You can see any method you do. See, our method really had, this can be reduced by one step. So it'll be 1, 2, 3. Here, one step can be reduced if you directly do this, but I did in detail. 3 here and 3 over here. Just 2 over here and you'll get the answer. So otherwise, if you see the textbook, it's like very lengthy as well. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It might be detailed, but still you can use whichever method you're comfortable with. Okay. So 4 and minus 1 are the answers which we got, the same thing, 4 and minus 1. Now it's very important for you to remember they have told extraneous solution. What does that mean? That means one of this may not be correct solution. But if you're doing the writing exam, you must mention these answers and then do the test. Extraneous solution test is very simple. You need to check solution by substituting in the original equation. This is the given question, right? You need to substitute both the answers over here. Now, how do you do that is, let me just take out the calculator again. You need to just go to the original mode 1, computation mode. Now here it is 2, instead of m, I'll write x divided by, okay, I'm not going to type it all. I'll just tell you why it's wrong directly, because looking at this, you can see, is there any of these values which will make this undefined? Yes, you can see carefully. If you just solve all the denominators, you put 1 over here. If you put 1 here, it's not going to be any problem. It'll be 3 minus 6, that's minus 3. There's the answer. Now, if you put 1 over here, it'll be 3 minus 18 plus 24. This is also fine because you will have some positive answer. That is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And lastly, over here, what's going to happen? It's going to be minus 3. So for all these three cases, you're getting the answer. If it's, okay, if it's minus 1, it's going to be minus 5. Again, that will be 3. It'll be plus. Okay, all the answers will be there, so no problem. It'll be 21, 46 or something, 45, I believe. And there is answer over here, right? Yes. Everywhere you are getting answer. But now let us try substituting this 4. What happens here? 4 minus 4 is 0, so this will be undefined. Okay, over here you will get an answer. Over here, I think so you'll get an answer. But here, the first case, you're getting undefined. One case is more than enough. If you're getting undefined for any of the solution, that is the extraneous solution. You are not considering that. So your ultimate solution is only this answer, minus 1. So your final answer here is only minus 1, because m equals 4 results in 0 in the denominator. It is extraneous. That means it cannot be considered because you're getting undefined value. Therefore, your solution is minus 1. So if it is writing, you need to do all that whatever we did just now. See, all this need to be done. Okay, so it's important to know this. This is the exact method to solve it. Now, if it's say MCQs, there is a shortcut method, the calculator method. Let me just take out the calculator again. Here, just type it. Instead of m, put it as x, alpha x minus 4. Again, go outside, minus, it'll be m squared plus 7m, that is written as alpha x over here. Anytime any variable, you have to just use x. It'll be squared minus 18 alpha x plus 24. That will be all equal to 4 times x divided by 3x x minus 6. All you have to do is shift and solve and then equal to, the answer is -1. Now, the good thing about the calculator is it rejects the extraneous solution. It will directly give you the correct solution. If it's undefined, it will not mention it. So you will get, if there are two answers, you will get the correct answer only. So that's how. So, but the problem is for writing, you can't use this because you have two answers, right? So this is how you solve it up. It's a bit lengthy, but please stick with me and bear with me because these are the methods. This is a lengthy lesson. Now, I would highly recommend you to, pause the video and do it by yourselves if you're feeling this is very long. Now, I will be solving this in detail. You can skip this and directly jump to the next problem if you're known it, but otherwise you can start watching it now. Here we go. Again, which are the two simpler denominators? I feel this and this, so let me group them together. So the left side, now I'm not going to repeat the mistake. Here, what is going to happen? It's going to be minus x squared. And again, that minus and minus will be plus 7x. Minus and minus will be plus 4 divided by x squared minus 16. Now, if you're thinking, do we have to multiply, negate your up and down? No. Generally, we only consider for any one of these side. Don't take the denominator. Always consider the numerator, okay? Multiply this upside to all the terms. So it's now minus x squared plus and plus over here. This will be equal to right side is 5 into x plus 4. This goes to the other side. It becomes minus 3x divided by x minus 4. Now, here you need to multiply them, to each other. So the denominator will be multiplication of x plus 4, x minus 4. And here it will be 5 into x minus 4. You can directly do this multiplication instead of writing. Now I'll simplify and write. See, 5 multiplied by x is how much? It'll be 5x. 5 times minus 4 is minus 20. And over here it'll be minus 3x multiplied by x will be minus 3x squared. Minus 3x multiplied by 4 is minus 12x. That is equal to left side is same. Now here you can do FOIL method. Multiply this. You're going to get this only after simplification. Otherwise, you might know a plus b, a minus b, the whole is equal to a square minus b square. So here I can just write this. I'll simplify the numerator. First, I'll write minus 3x square minus 7x minus 12 plus 5 is 7 minus 7 minus 20 divided by a square is x squared minus 4 square is 16. The left side is minus x squared plus 7x plus 4 divided by x squared minus 16. Denominators cancel out and you're remaining with these numerators. What I'll do is I'll take all this to the left side. So it'll be 3x squared minus x squared plus 7x plus 7x plus 20 and plus 4, that is equal to 0. You're remaining with 3x squared. Sorry, it's 2x squared over here. Why? Because 3 minus 1 is 2. 2x squared plus 14x plus 24 equals 0. So that is the answer. Now here, you do not need to simplify anything. You can directly use the calculator. Why? Because you're finding solution. You're not using these steps ahead. It's not factorizing. You're just finding the solution. Take your calculator and let's solve here. So you have mod 5 and 3. It's 2, 14 and 24. And the answer is minus 3 and minus 4. Now let's quickly see whether minus 4 is possible. No, if you put minus 4 here, what's going to happen? It's going to be undefined. Even over here, minus 4 will be positive 16. No, it's undefined. So ignore this value. Minus 4 is a solution, but it's extraneous. So basically you can write here when you're writing it. So x will be equal to minus 3. X is equal to minus 4. This is extraneous solution. Therefore, x will be equal to minus 3 only. So Let me just double check the answer. It's minus 3, yes. So it should be minus 3 only. Okay, it can't be minus 4 because it is the solution, but it's an extraneous solution which will be undefined. So that value must not be included. Only minus 3 is included, because if you put anywhere in the denominator as minus 3, you're gonna have no problems. So that's how we solve this up. Just this much. So once you have practice, doesn't matter. This is a bit complicated than the previous problem. I mean, it's the same thing, because previous problem, yeah, it's okay. It's not that difficult. Um, Here, it'll be easier because of this terms. But anyways, the answer will be the same and denominators will be cancelled off. But follow the method which I just told you. The simpler denominators together simplify. But if you start simplifying like this, it's going to be very lengthy. Okay, so we will move to the next problem now. Some real world problems. Okay, what is this about a mixture? I'm not a big fan of these because sometimes I tend to get confused. I just need more time to solve these. But anyways, but these are practically, you can relate it easily. Let's read this. First aid, rubbing alcohol, a commonly used first aid antiseptic, typically contains 70% isopropyl alcohol. Suppose you're adding a 50% isopropyl alcohol liquid to 200 milliliters ml of liquid that is 91% isopropyl alcohol. How much of a 50% isopropyl alcohol liquid is should be added to create rubbing alcohol that is 70%? Isopropyl alcohol. Okay, I got the gist of it. Now, what you need to do over here is, okay, this needs to be understood that what they're basically saying is, see, they want exactly 70% isopropyl alcohol. See, this is if you fall down and stuff, you will have Dettol or something to clean the wound, right? So that there's no antiseptic. It's an antiseptic, so that there's no septic problems. Now that particular isopropyl alcohol must be 70%. Here you already have 200 ml of 91% isopropyl alcohol. So this is very high percentage, right? So you need to dilute it down. So you're bringing with 50% isopropyl liquid. You have how you're adding it to this 200. You need to know how much must be exactly added. So the total quantity over here, 91 and 50, it will become 70%. Okay. So now if you're thinking this is about dilution. Now you might know this drink. Sorry, this is Vimto. Now what happens is it is concentrate. So you put in say a glass and you put water to it. So the same way this concentration might vary. Now you can't drink this direct concentrated liquid, it's too high, it's gonna be, it's not good for your health. Now what you do is you put it out and you put some water, and you need to have the exact, like, I mean, you can't dilute it too much with water, you can't dilute too much with this syrup as well. So it must be in the right amount. Same way over here, the right amount is 70% of the alcohol. Now how you solve it is, we have to make a table generally for these. Now this is just estimating, we'll come to this in a while. Let's see a table. So this is the table. Okay, generally solve it with tables. Original, added, new. So how do you solve this is, what is the original amount, what is the given amount you have, what you know already, that is very important, and what you're adding comes next. And then this is the final solution. This is what we will get after adding. Now here we know already there is 200 ml. You can see the second column first. Total amount of liquid added, how much already is already there, sorry, original 200 ml. Now what is this 200 ml? That is 91%. 91% is 0.91. Okay, you should just divide this by 100. You're going to get 0.91 multiply with 200. So this would be the concentrate of this. Next one, how much are you adding the 50% alcohol liquid? You have no clue. We are finding that one out because you already have this. You have started adding this 50% liquid to the 91%, and it's being diluted. But you don't know how much exactly you need to add this 50%, right? You can't add any amount. It must be exact amount. So this is what we are solving is X. But we know the percentage of the alcohol required in this is 50, 0.5. This was 0.9. We multiply it by the amount which we have. But here we don't know, so we multiply by x. That's it. So now what we can do is we can find the total. See, original and added. The new percentage. Now the above one is the concentration. Sorry, percentage in the sense concentrate. It was 91% and over here it's 50. So when you add them up, it will be the new concentration. That is 0.91 times 200. You can just solve it up plus 0.5x. What is this? This is the total amount of liquid 200 plus x, because x is unknown. Now this is the thing, and you must know one simple formula. The percentage of isopropyl alcohol in liquid, if any liquid, any mixture, is basically the amount of isopropyl alcohol, this amount divided by the amount of liquid. So how much liquid is there and the concentration of it. So this is the formula. Over here, if you write this table, whatever is the amount of liquid, that must be down in the denominator. It's 200 by x. This above one is whatever is the concentration, 0.91 or 91% into 200, 0.5 into x. So this is what we are going to solve. Now, what is the percentage required? They are mentioned here 70%, right? You can write this as 70 by 100 or 0.7. It's up to you. It's the same thing. Is this clear? So we will have to solve this equation. Let's just go. Let's solve this. Just solving this. But this table is very crucial. This is how we get it. Now what we do is I'll just start solving here. Let me, 70 by 100 is 0.7. Now what you can do is you can just take it to the other side, but I'm not gonna multiply 100 over here. 70 by 100 will be 0.7. And since this is equal to, there's no plus or minus, it's an easy one. You just take this to the other side, or you can just use the calculator, because even if it's a writing exam, sorry, you have already written so much, right? If you have written all this and then directly, you can directly do this answer, I believe. But anyways, let's see the writing part. 70 by 100 is 0.7. Multiply, take it to the other side. Here it will be, that is multiplied with 200 plus x is equal to 0.91 times 200 would be 182, right? But anyways, let me just use calculator. So reliant on calculators, right? Mode 1, it will be 0.991 times 200. It's 182. Yeah, okay. Sometimes my brain just freezes, so I couldn't calculate that. Okay, it's very easy. 2 zeros, it goes to the other side. 91 times 2 is 181. Now I got it. Plus 0.5x. So this is the thing. Here you have to multiply 0.7. So I'll just use this. 270 times 2 is 140 into 0.7x equals 181 plus 0.5x. Get all the x's to one side, and sorry, I've done a mistake here. This is plus. It's not multiplication, it's plus. The middle sign is plus. Now take all the x's to the one side. 0.5 is bigger, so leave it. Take this to the other side. It'll be 0.7x minus 0.5x equals 181 minus 140. So this is going to be 0.2x equals 140. 181 minus 140 is 41, and x is equal to 141 divided by 0.2. So it's again a simple one, but I'll just use this. 41 divided by 0.2. The answer is 205. That is the answer, 205 ml. Let's just check the answer. See, you can do this method which I just told you directly, rather than the such a big method. Whichever is easy, ultimately the answer. Oh, what just happened? I'm getting a bit of a wrong answer, right? Let me just check it out. Again, I have done a simple small mistake. I hope you, when I was writing, I'm sure you all have noticed that. Here it's 182. My bad. It's gonna be 182 here. So this is 182, 182, 182. So 182 minus 40 will be 42. Now x will be 210. Let's Let's just check it in the calculator. Here it is 42 divided by, so it's 210. X is 210. Or you can directly substitute this equation in the calculator and you'll get, that's the answer. We have another world problem here. It's a distance problem. Let's read this about bats. Mexican free-tailed bats have an average flight speed of 25 miles per hour. Suppose it takes one of the bat 5 hours to fly 121.8 miles, 121.8 miles, round trip one night. Assuming that the bat flew at constant speed, determine the speed of the wind. Okay, see now this is very important. The word round trip makes all the difference. Now let's understand this problem. See, imagine it's flying here. It's flying like this and going somewhere, and then it's coming back because that's what round trip means. And what does wind do? Wind, imagine, is blowing in this speed. It's going to blow here. So when the bat is flying towards this direction, it's easy. So the wind speed must be added to its speed. What is its speed? 25. It is going through the speed of 25 miles, right? So it will be W plus 5 for 25. But when it's coming back, what happens is it is against the speed of wind. So over here, there's a clash, friction, that you need to put more pressure. So it'll be much harder. It'll be minus 25. That's it. Now here we have been given the time, we have been given the rate, sorry, this is our rate and this is the distance. Now the distance is given by rate times time, or since 5 hours is the time, it's much easier to write time is equal to distance by rate. I hope this is clear. Time is equal to distance by rate. Now rate over here is 25 miles per hour, but it will be added or subtracted with the window speed. So now I have done a mistake over here. It's not minus 25, sorry, it should be 25 minus. Good that I understood it now itself rather than solving it. See, it's the speed of wind we need to find. The bat is at a constant speed, that is 25 miles. That is going to be constant as it is. It'll be plus W, but this might be minus W. This is the change. Okay. Now, what about the speed? Till over here, the total distance covered is 121.8, right? 121.8. But what is the half the distance? Divided by 2. It's going to be 60. 60, it is 1.8 divided by 2 is 0.9. So 60.9 miles per miles. That's one distance. So over here will be 60.9 and over here also will be 60.9 coming back. So the equation would be, see, the time is alone, right? So we can write the time, 5 hours will be equal to what? The distance. The distance is 60.9 divided by, let's take the 25 plus W, add it with the other distance as well, but this wind speed will be minus. Why? Because it's going in the opposite direction, right? So this is the concept. This is the equation. That's it. If you understand, it's very easy. Time 60.9, 60.9, but over here it'll be 25 plus W, 25 minus W. Now what you do? Solve it. We have solved this. Now here we can use A plus B, A minus B formula, that is A squared minus B squared. So what's going to happen? This is going to be, you have to multiply 60.9 times 25. It'll be 60 to 1000. 1500 or something, but anyways, I'll just use the calculator. Here we are, it is 60.9 multiplied, so it's multiplied by 25, so it's 1522.4. okay, now we just start to write it over here, the first term with this term, so it is 1522.5 minus 60.9 W. Why? Because you have to multiply these both, plus, now multiply this and this. It's going to be the same 1522.5 plus 60.9 W divide the entire thing by these two squares. So it'll be A square minus B square, isn't it? It's going to be this formula. I'll just write it directly. It's 25 square. What is 25 square? 625, right? It's going to be 25 squared minus W squared. Okay. Now, right side is 5, left side, sorry. Take this and multiply here and simplify. Minus and minus cancels. What happens here? It'll be 5 times 625. That is 3000 something. Wait, 3000 plus 25, 125. Yeah. 605 5 times is 3000. 25 5 times is 125. So it'll be 6125 minus 5w squared. It's going to be 5 multiplied with this and with this distributive property. That is equal to 522.5 plus 522.5 will be 3000, 045. Okay. Now what do? We just take this to the other side and 5 to the other side. It's going to be, one second, no, right. Sorry, this is not going to be 6,000. It's going to be 3,000. Okay, I'm so sorry. It's better to use calculators, okay, rather than doing all these silly mistakes. So it's going to be 3125 here. So we have 3125 minus 3045, that is equal to 5w square. I just took this to the other side and this to the other side. And you need to basically divide both the sides by 5 and then take square root. Now what is this going to be? It's just going to be 80 over here. Yeah, it's 80. I don't know why I was thinking so much. 80 is equal to 5w square. 80 divided by 5, this is going to be 16. So square root of 16 is going to be plus or minus 4. So we can just use the calculator and check. Here, all you need to do is, it's 80 divided by 5, that is 16. Then the square root of 16 is plus or minus 4. Here it just gives you 4, but you need to know it's plus or minus. And that would be the answer. Here you can see, but long method is used. See, whatever I'm teaching you, the shortcut method will work all the time. You can see the previous problems, this problem, the answer will be the same, okay? So you can't have negative as speed. So what happens? Whatever we got over here, this is basically 4, but in fact you will have plus or minus 4. You must just remember. So just consider the positive answer. 4 miles per hour is the speed when. That's how we solve this problem. Now then we will move on to the next problem. Another work problem. So now here, this work problem, okay, there is a method for all these work problems. You should just remember it's always 1 divided by. That's what I remember when I get any work problem. It's always 1 divided by. Say, let's read this about agriculture. If it takes 24 row planter 10 hours to plant a field and 6 hours for 16 row planter is used, if also used, okay. So sorry, let me read it again. If it takes 24 row planter 10 hours to plant a field, what is this 24 row planter? You might know a huge tractor which is used for agriculture. It'll be like, there'll be many sharp ends. This is a big tractor, okay. This is a big tractor, big machine. You might know a big huge tractor machine. It will have 24 heads to plant it, you know. So at once 24 row of plants can be prepared. For 24 row planter, it takes 10 hours to plant a field, whereas for this, and 6 hours if another 16 row planter is used. Along this 24, if 16 row planter is used, then total hours spent is just 6 hours. Instead of 10, it will be 6 hours. How long would it take if to plant the field if only the 16 row plant is used? If only that is used, how long will it take? So this is the question. Now, obviously, we can tell it will be more. It will be more than 10 hours. But we need to accurately measure it. So always remember this method now. Here, all you need to do is the rate. The rate means, see, we just can't take this hours. See, this time is 10 hours for the 24 row tractor, whereas it is unknown hours. It's not mentioned at all for the second 16 row. Let's take it as X. But we know the total, so that is 24 plus 16. The total is how much? How much time? 6 hours. Okay. So we know for this, it is 10 hours. For this is unknown, but when we add these both, it's going to be 6. So let's take the rate. We can't equate this plus this is equal to, no, this is wrong. But let us equate the rate of the unit of work which is done for 1 hour. In the sense 1 by 10, 1 unit of work, plus, I don't know this, so it'll be 1 by x, that must be equal to 1 by 6. What is this? The unit of work over here for 1 unit, plus the unit of work with the second 16 row tractor. We don't know how much it will take for by on itself. This unit 1, because when they do both of these tractors, it's going to be 6 hours. So 1 by 6. So for this one work to complete, it will be 6 hours. For this, it will take 10 hours, but this we don't know how much. So if we find this x will be the amount of work, amount of time that will take for 16 to do alone. Now I'll repeat again. This 1 by 10 is the amount of unit for the 24 row tractor plant to do on its own. Okay, because it takes 10 hours for its on its own. Whereas if we add these both, we know it will take 16 hours. That is, we add these both, it will be, sorry, 6 hours. But now we don't know how much it is alone for 16 row plant. This is the equation. Now all you need to do is simplify. So I'll leave this 1 by x over here. That is equal to 1 by 6 minus 1 by 10. Just do it in the calculator or take it to the other sides. It'll be 1 by, if you're not using calculator, 10 goes to the other side, minus 6 divided by, multiply these both, will be 60. So 1 by x is equal to 10 minus 6 is 4 by 60. And take everything to the other side. 60 divided by 4 is equal to, x goes to the other side, 60 to the other side, divided by 4, it's 15. So it will take 15 hours for this 16 row planter alone. And let's just understand this. Yes, that is true. Why? Because, sorry, it's 15 hours, okay? 15 this is. 10 hours for the 24 row planter. 16 row planter is smaller than this. It will take more hours. If we add both of this, it's 16 hours. So the relationship is almost true. Yes, it should be more than this, but not very much more. It should not be more than 6 as well. So it can't be more than 16, but it must be around there somewhere, right? And yeah, makes sense. So let's just check the answer. Yes, it's 15. So it would take 15 hours for the 16 row planter to do it alone. So these are all about rational equations, world problems and everything. I know it's been a very long video, and now we will touch base with the inequalities. Uh, so we will begin now. Inequalities, it's same like what we have done before, but there is an extra check, and this excluded values are important in this. Now you can just read through this, just pause the video over here and read through this, and then we will continue. I will tell you each step one by one. This one is very important. Then it's all straightforward. Let's do it. So what happens is, in such problems, inequality, you can't use calculator. You'll not get the answer. You see, your final answer will be something like this. 1 minute. Say it's like an equation. See, this is the answer. So how would you solve that? It's not very straightforward and easy to get this. How would you do the inequality? That is by solving itself. There is no other method. Now, first step is the excluded values. What are excluded values here? Excluded values are the values which will give the denominator as 0, makes it 0. So those are excluded. Here there is number, but here x plus 1 equated to 0. X plus 1 equals 0 means, what happens here? So you just have to solve it. X plus 1 equals 0, x equals negative 1. So when x is negative 1, it is excluded. It's undefined. So this must be excluded. So the answer for the excluded value is minus 1. This is important. And next, we have to just solve this equation. I've told you how to solve. It's easier if we have simple denominators. Let me do this very quickly. Minus 5 by x plus 1 must be greater than x minus 4 by 3 minus x by 2. Now here it will be, I'll just use the equation and solve it. You have to just do equal to and solve, and then put the inequality. Here what happens is, it will be 2x minus 8 minus 3x divided by 6. Here you have minus 5 divided by x plus 1. Take this 6 to the other side. It will be minus 30 equals Okay, this must be multiplied here. Wait, it'll be minus x minus 8 multiplied with x plus 1. We have done these steps before, so I'm just doing it quickly. Minus 30 will be equal to, multiply this, will be minus x squared minus x minus 8x minus 8. So let me take this to the other side. So it'll be 0 greater than minus x squared minus 9x and plus 22. So this is the answer. Now, how do we solve this answer? Obviously by calculator, mod phi 3. So just use this mod phi 3, and here we have minus 1, minus 9 and 22. The answer is 2 and negative 11. So the x value we got is, so let me just take this off. The x value, I'll write it over here, x is equal to 2, negative 11. Now, these are no good for us. This is the excluded value from step 1. This is from step 2, solving the equation. Now, the most important thing is making a number line and pointing out these points. Where are these points? Minus 1. If I take minus 1 over here, 2 will be somewhere over here, and minus 11 will be somewhere far off. So you have got 3 points here, isn't it? The 3 points. Now, we need to take test values. What are these test values? Take any value in this range of minus 11 to minus 1. It's better to take easy values. I will take minus 10. Why? Because minus 10 is easy to calculate. Or you can take minus 2. It's the same thing. Any value, you'll get the same answer. You can even take minus 10.999. It's same. It's within this range. Don't take these other than these. Now, what is the other answer? Other value. Over here, I can take 0 because 0 is in between. This I'll take 3 and this I'll take minus 12. I have now 4 test values. I have to just put these test values in this inequality. And if the inequality is true, okay, that is true, that inequality is true. If it is not true, you should exclude, you should not consider it. Let's do it. All you're doing is now take this. I'll just use the calc way. I'll put this, the first left side of inequality, alpha x divided by 2 minus phi divided by alpha x plus 1, and then now just press calc for all these values. For minus 12, what is the answer? It is, let me keep it like that only, and let me write it in blue. All the left sides, I'm going to write it out together now. It is here negative 61 by 11. Now that is done. What about the next value? Calc minus 10. Sorry. It's negative 40 by 9. So it will be over here minus 40 by 9. Now what is for calc 0? Calc 0. It's negative 5 here. And lastly, we have 3. So calc 3, it's 0.25 or 1 by 4. Now then, left side is done. We have got it in all blue colors, the values. So now change the equation to the right side. That is alpha x minus 4 divided by 3. Calc, what you have to do first? Minus 12. Now let me write it in, say, green. Okay. Now this one is minus 16 by 3. Okay, it's better we write the decimal values because this would be hard to understand easily. So let me see the decimal one. What is it? Negative. Okay, it is negative 5.33. Now the next one is calc when it's minus 10. What is it at minus 10? Minus 4.667. So over here I should write minus 4.67. Next one would be 0. So it'll be negative 4 by 3 at 0. Calc, oh, it's alpha x minus 4 divided by alpha x minus 4 divided by 0. Calc at x value of 0. The answer will be, okay, it has been a long video and I'm just doing it straight, right? So I'm just doing many silly errors now, blunders. It is negative 4 by 3, that is 1.333, negative 1.33, and that's negative 1. Calc, and last is 0.2, sorry, calc 3. Okay, this is the, I'm just doing so many blunders. I'm sorry for that. Let me just write it out now. 3 minus 4, that will be 3 minus 4, because it's the last value I'm just writing it directly. But if you have many values, write the equation and use the calc. Okay, now this is 0.33 minus, okay, calc negative 0.33. Now you must see the blue values must be greater than the this value. See, the blue values must be greater than the green values. Is the blue value greater than the green value here? 1 by 4, is it greater than negative 0.33? Yes, it is. This is correct. Because this is positive, this is negative. Now, what about this? Is negative 5 greater than this? No. See, let me write it in different color here. This is wrong. It's negative 5 on the left side I got is less than negative 133. Okay, why? Because negative 1.3, when it's negative value, smaller means it's bigger. So this is wrong inequality. What about this? Let us see. That is negative 40 by 9. It'll be near 4 something. 40 divided by 9. 4.44. Negative 4.44 is negative, this is negative 4.44, is greater than negative 6.7. Yes, this is correct. Why? Because smaller values, when they're negative, it's greater. And the last one over here, negative 5 point, sorry, it's 61 divided by 11, but negative, so it is 5.54. So negative 5.54, is it greater than this? No, this is smaller. This is smaller, which is wrong. So you got two inequalities. Which are the inequalities? One ranges from negative 11 to minus 1, and one more is, which is this point, greater than 2. X must be greater than 2. So these are the two inequalities which you must consider. Let's just check over here. See, these are the two inequalities. That's what we got. Let me write it in detail. Let me erase all this. One was negative 11 to negative 1 and x was greater than 2, right? See, in this thing we got, let me write it over here. The equation between this negative 11 and negative 1, this was true, and whatever was greater than 3 also was true, whereas these two inequalities were wrong. So whichever regions gave us the correct solution, correct answer, are to be considered. So we will have to consider x values which will be less than negative 1 but greater than negative 11. So this is one answer, and x value which must be greater than 2. So these will be the inequality. This is the solution region. Can you see that? X is greater than negative 11 but less than negative 1. X is greater than 2. That is it. But it's a lengthy procedure. So this procedure is very crucial, because you need to test each value in this equation. Now you can do this individually. I wrote all the values at once, right? If you write the equation in the calculator and calc for all the values, it will save you time. That's the reason. But if you manually put the, say you take a test value of minus 13, put it here, then check, it'll take you a long time. Okay, whichever is fine with you, just follow that, but the answer will be like that. So just quickly try to go back to the place where I'd written everything. I hope it's visible. Okay, it's not. Anyways, it's just the thing. So this method can be followed, or the method whichever I told you, which was short, I believe, you can just follow that. So that's how we solve inequalities. There's one more over here. The answer doesn't mean anything. You need to solve it by yourselves. So I'll try to quickly solve this here. You can pause the video and solve it by yourselves. But anyways, now I will solve it. I will take this to the other side. It'll be minus 6 by x greater than 3 minus x by 3 plus x minus 2 by 4. Now all you have to do is multiply 4 over here. 4 times 3 is 12 minus 4x plus 3x minus 6 divided by 4 3s are 12. Here you have minus 6 by x. Take this 12 to the other side. It will be minus 12 after 60. 72 equals 12x minus 4x square. Sorry, let me just simplify this here. That will be equal to, let me have this x down itself. It'll be minus x plus 6. So now it'll be minus 72 equals minus x squared plus 6x. And take all the things to the, let's just take this to the other side. So here it'll be 0 minus x squared plus 6x plus 72. And now we solve it. Here we will use the calculator. Mod phi 3, it's minus 1, 6 and 72. The answer is 12 and minus 6. So it's important to write those values. Let me just write. So 12 is somewhere over here, minus 6 is somewhere over here. And don't forget the excluded values. That was the step 1. Excluded value over here, there's only x, so it is 0 somewhere over here. Okay, 0. So now you need to choose test values. I will choose test value of 1 and minus 1 because it's very easy. And then it is 13 and minus 7 here. So I've got 5 test values, 4, sorry, my bad. And now you have to put these in this equation. So I'll do one by one. I will just take the calculator and use mode 1. I'll write this as it is, minus 6 by alpha x minus x by, say this is alpha x minus 2 divided by 4. Now I'll calculate this value at minus 7. The answer is 3.10 over here. So I'll quickly write it, 3.10. Now the next one, all you need to do is again calc and put it as minus 1. The answer is 6.75. So here it is 6.75. Now what about this 1? All you need to do is calc and 1, and you're going to get it as negative 5.75. So it is, sorry, negative 5.75. And then we have last value of calc. Oh, something happened. Let me just restart my calculator. Okay, I got it back. It just closed for some reason. I have no idea. Maybe because it's been a long time since I'm using this recording straight. All I will do is over here minus 6 divided by x value over here. The considered is 13. Because it's the last value, I just write it as it is, and it'll be minus 13 minus 2 by 4, and the answer over here is minus 3.12. So over here I should write minus 3.221. Now all I have to do is I have to do the same thing over here for the right side and check whether they are greater or no. So how do I do the check values? I have to write the right side equation. It's 3 minus x divided by 3. And I have to calc at all these different values. So let me start with minus 7. It is 3.33. So is 3.1 greater than 3.33? No. So this is gone. Okay, let me just change the color here. So I got 3.33, which is, this 3.1 must be bigger. Okay, this must be greater, but in this case it's less, so it's wrong. because see the inequality, left side must be greater than the right side. So it is wrong. Now let me change this calc value to -1. Is 1.33 greater? No, not, wait, once again. Yes, 1.33. I thought this is minus for some reason. Yes, 6.75 is greater than 1.33. So this is correct. This region of -6 and 0 is true. Now let's go to the next region. All you're doing is over here, calc and put 1. Is zero point 0.6 greater, I mean, lesser than negative? No, this is wrong. Why? Because this negative and it should be greater. Wrong. Let me just quickly go to calc and the last one, 13. Is negative 2, 1? No. Oh, yes, because negative numbers, right? So this is true. So I will just write it here. This was wrong. This is true. Negative 3.33. Yes, this is greater. So it will be from, where is it? 12 to infinity, basically. Yes, this is true. So the answers will be, oh, you can see this over here. X will be less than 0 but greater than -6, and x must be greater than 12. Or so these are the solution region, and this is the only method to do this. There is no shortcut method. If it's writing, this is the method. There are certain methods by trial and error, but that you need the options for that. And instead of that, it's better to know this method. It's very important method as well. So that's why please do try to understand this method. Please try to solve more and more problems in this method, and it will definitely help you. So we go to the next problem. This just never ends, right? It's been a very long video and my throat is running dry. Anyways, we'll continue here. Example 7. Jamila runs an online store that sells custom hats. She spends $378 on an embroidery machine. In addition, it costs Jamila 1.85 to make each hat. How many hats will Jamila have to make so that the average cost per hat is less than or equal to $5? Okay, less than or equal to $5. This is an inequality problem. Here we need to understand exactly what's happening. The total amount spent, let me just write it out over here, is 378 already. And it costs for one hat to make, it costs 1.875. Okay, let's consider one hat is X. Now she has to bring the average cost price, the selling price of the hat, less than or equal to 5, right? So it depends on how many hats she's selling. Now, how do you understand this is, now imagine you have bought like, say, bottles of water for 50 dirhams. Okay, you have bought 50 dirhams. And imagine you have how many? 50 bottles. 50 bottles for 50 dirhams. What is the cost? 1. But you want to make a profit of 2. Imagine you want to you want to sell it at 2. So what happens? This changes. You need to sell only 25 bottles, isn't it? So 50 divided by 25 is 2. So this is the similar equation. Whatever you spent here, 50 dirhams, now over here it is 378 plus whatever is being spent on each hat divided by the number of hats. Here, if I had X over here, then you can change. But over here now, per hat, there is an additional cost. It's not one time. So 378 plus 1.85x divided by x is the number of hats being sold, must be less than or equal to 5. So this is the concept. Here, all you need to do is solve this equation and then inequality. We have done this before, so please try to do it by yourself. But this is easier. Just take the 5 to the other side. It will be 378 plus 1.85x less than or equal to 5x. Take this to the other side, it will be 378 less than or equal to 5x minus 1.85x. 378 must be less than or equal to 3.15x. Divide both the sides by 3.15. I'll just use the calculator. Here, let's do 378 divided by 3.15. The answer is 120. Okay, x. So it will be, this divide both the sides by 3. So it will be 120 must x must be greater than or equal to 120. Okay, so the number of hats she must sell is greater than or equal to 120. Now here you can see what is the excluded value. X is equal to 0, right? You can make the table at 0 and at 120 and you can find the test value. But this is a real world problem. Here you understood x is how much? X must be greater than. X must be greater than or equal to 120. It can't be less than that. Excluded value is 0. It's less than 120. If you do this, will you get any profit? Or say if the inequality is true over here, if at all it is true, if you have -1 and apply over here both the sides, if you put -1 here, I think so you might, no, I'm not sure, but anyways, if you get it, yeah, it will be, because it'll be negative and this is positive. Yes, you will get this inequality correct, right? Because the whole answer will be minus here, minus 5 is greater. So inequality of x less than 0 is true. But you can't consider that inequality. Why? Because it's a real world problem. Can you make negative hats? No. It must be greater than or equal to 120. So you can just directly write it without doing this test, trial, the number line method. So the answer is directly x is greater than or equal to 120, or 120 is less than, right? So the ending part is over here at 120. So x is greater than or equal to 120. Let's just double check our answer. So see over here, x is less than 0 is true, but you can't use that. Why? Because that's kind of it doesn't make sense here. So it should be greater than or equal to 120. So if at all Jamila makes 120 hats, then only then she can reduce the cost price of each hat less than $5. So that's how we solve this. Real world problems are easy because you can look at the answers you found out and directly you can, equate it. And because there were no other answers, it's 0 or 120. So it's much easier. You can't have 0. It's a real world problem. So it should be 120, greater than 120. Finally, it is over. That's it for this lesson. It's been a long lesson. I'm also relieved as you are if you have gone through the entire lesson. So please do make sure you try to solve more and more problems by yourselves. If you have comments, if you have problems or difficulties or doubts, please do put them in the comments section. And if you have found this helpful, do consider subscribing my channel. It would mean so much to me. And do share it among your friends or relatives or anyone who might, might find this useful. All the grade 9, 10, 11, 12 advanced videos are available in my channel. Please do subscribe, like, and do share my videos. It would mean so much to me. Thank you so much, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye, and all the best till then.